That is right.
How do you do?
Man, here we go again. This team ain't gonna never win.
From Will Levis shooting imaginary webs to Dallas getting smacked, the NFL was very busy Sunday with history being made in this game. The Lions' huge win over the Cowboys ended with final score that's never been seen before in the NFL. It was so pathetic fans started throwing up at the sight of the scoreboard. Well, she was probably a little bit under the influence, or Jerry World's food is trash. Either way, you know it's sad when the kid who looks to not be old enough to remember when the Cowboys were actually good also shares in the festivities. But shout out to the friend, we all need someone like that in our lives. And now that I think about it though, if the Cowboys don't get beat down, this probably doesn't go viral. So when she looks up and sees her viral moment, she can blame the Cowboys. And herself, of course. But anyways, the Dallas Cowboys got absolutely destroyed by the Detroit Lions. It was so bad that even with the game out of hand, you can tell the Lions were just out there playing around, a trick play here, a crazy play there, just to see if it would work. All of this on Jerry Jones's birthday, just 30. But this is what happens when you have an owner who wants to have his hand on everything that is going on. Jerry wants all the credit, and that is why he continues to have his hands all over this team. So who deserves most of the blame? That is Jerry Jones. It's just that simple. But let's look and see what the people are saying.
Dak is ass, right? Can I say it on TV? Because he is ass.
You can say whatever you want on TV.
Okay.
The boys are already in December/January form. You're probably right about that one. As a Cowboys fan, Cowboys losing on Jerry Jones' birthday at home was tremendous. Hey, people are sick and tired of Jerry Jones. This game should have been rated R. No kid should have to watch this massacre. Imagine if you were taking your son or your daughter to the game for the first time. If I was that kid, I'm not being a Cowboys fan. I can't go through this no more. Dak Prescott when the Cowboys need him the most. That's just bad. Des Bryant right here says Cowboys is not a balanced team. It's not a Dak thing. Sorry to break it to you casuals. Now, Des Bryant, look, I know compared to you, we all are casuals, but at the same time, to anyone who thought that Dak Prescott actually played well enough tonight to give his team a chance is delusional. But you are right. It's not a Dak problem. The entire team is bad, including Dak. Can all of those things be true at the same time? Yes, I think they can. And this guy right here replies to Des Bryant and say, I think you're absolutely wrong. Dak Prescott is the problem. I give the defense a break. Now, that right there, Jay, is a lie. But he threw 2 interceptions, and now let's go ahead and hear you make an excuse for him on that too. He needs to go. He has had his time in Dallas and needs to go. Well, look, you just signed the man. He ain't going nowhere no time soon. I love being a Cowboys fan. Oh, that is crazy work. Just end it right there, huh? This guy right here says, literally everyone, Jerry the Son is a problem during games. Jerry Jones does nothing to change it despite having complete authority and control and power to do so. The Dallas Cowboys football team. Now look, that looks like a problem. However, is it only a problem now that you guys are losing? You guys were on a crazy win streak last year. What happened to the streak? And should I also say, I think other teams have to play in those conditions as well, but maybe they don't. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do not insult Cowboys fans. The $60 million QB is trash. Well, he's not playing well. He's looking really bad. Right here says, it's impossible to talk sense into people when talking about Dak Prescott or any Cowboys player for that matter. Dak led the league in TD passes and was second in MVP, and everyone called him trash. Meanwhile, Lamar is even worse than Dak in the playoffs, and he gets love. Now, look, everyone has their favorites, and I will say, Lamar does not get all love. That's not true. Dak gets a little love here, gets some hate. It's like that for every single player not named Patrick Mahomes, and it is what it is until that person wins a ring. At the end of the day, the Cowboys have a control-hungry, a power-hungry GM in Jerry Jones, who is also the owner, so you can't get rid of him. The guy is here to stay. And this is the results you get. One of the worst losses of the entire season. The Lions are still mad from last year when they thought they should have beat the Cowboys, but the refs said otherwise. And unlike other games, the Cowboys could not make the score closer than it seemed. It was a beatdown from start to finish. You know those guys like the stat pad towards the end of games where they're getting blown out. The line said no, not today. But before I continue with this video, let's take a moment and give our thoughts and prayers to Aiden Hutchinson, who suffered a tibia and now I'm figuring out a fibula fracture in this game. Hopefully he makes a full recovery. You hate to see any injury, but especially one of this magnitude. And with that, let's continue with this video. So, do I think Dak is worth however much money he is getting paid? No, but he isn't the first overpaid quarterback and he won't be the last, unfortunately. The Cowboys are just bad all the way around. After going undefeated last year at home in the regular season, the Cowboys have not won a home game yet. The Packers stopped that home streak last year in the playoffs, and the Cowboys have not looked back after that. In today's video, we're going to talk about this game, what's wrong with the Cowboys, as well as talk about what is going right with the Lions. But before we get into that, don't forget to like, comment, and also subscribe to the channel. And with that, let's get into this video. So the game did start out a little shaky for Dak Prescott. He had plenty of times in this game where he got lucky and did not throw more than the 2 picks that he did. This throw right here was a pop-up in the first quarter, which could have also been a pick if it had went the wrong direction. But you may have thought that that luck was in the Cowboys' favor with that lucky completion. Well, no, it wasn't. But not a bad drive by the Cowboys by any means. They put up points first. However, Montgomery would answer fast with a run up the middle. And as someone said on TV last week, the Cowboys are just too light in the britches. And if you ain't from the South, just know that means the Cowboys ain't got enough rocks in their jeans to stop the run at all. They couldn't stop a baby from crawling. The run defense is just that bad. A quick answer from the Lions, but this is not where it gets ugly because the Cowboys would drive the ball down the field and get in range to at least put up 3. But there's where Dak would have a Dak moment. Picked off in the end zone. And this is the beginning of Jerry Jones's birthday massacre. The Lions would add another 3 following that turnover. Dak would throw the ball to someone here. I don't know exactly where he wanted to go with that one. The drive would not go anywhere. But the next Lions drive would be interesting to say the least. A little trickery, something we would see multiple times that day. A touchdown here for Sam Laporta, and now your score is 17-3. And even when Dallas puts everyone in the box, they still do not have enough bricks in their wallet pocket. Montgomery was just running over everybody. He finished with 80 yards on just 12 attempts with an average of 6 yards per carry and 2 touchdowns. He just signed a 2-year, $18 million extension as well. Clearly well-deserved. At the end of this drive, the Lions would add on another 3 points. Later on, the Cowboys would decide to go for it on 4th and 2 inside of their own territory and not convert. Shout out to the Alabama kid, Terrion Arnold, with the stop right here. So that stop would be topped off with another David Montgomery touchdown. It is now 27-3, and is not even as bad as it would get. The Cowboys would add another 3 points before halftime. The kicker, in my opinion, at this point is underpaid. So now is halftime, and maybe, just maybe, the Cowboys can pull the old "we are down, so let's play ball now," pad the stats a little bit, and come back. Well, the Lions would shut that option all the way down. Jameson Williams was wide open on this touchdown, and now it's 34-6. The Cowboys would get their last 3 points after that, but the Lions were not finished having fun. They would get in the red zone and try this lineman catch and almost got it. I'm telling you, they are still mad about that 2-point conversion from last year, but they will only get 3 during this drive. Dak would finally have a good pass in there, but yeah, a fumble. The Lions would get really disrespectful with one of their play calls in the red zone. You got a lineman lined up at wideout trying to get Penny Sewell a touchdown, but they will only get 3 again. And at this point, you just sit here and think to yourself like, hey, maybe the Cowboys want to just call it a day. Sit your starters, because at this point, it's simply embarrassing. But Dak is trying to get some type of rhythm for the next game, and well, Dak throws a punt right here, and it almost got ran back. On this day, Dak had 178 yards on 51% completion. That is not going to get it done. That interception led to this easy touchdown for St. Brown from Jared Goff, who had 315 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jared Goff has been lighting it up lately, and this game was essentially over. So with all of that wrapped up, let's talk about the Cowboys first and end on a good note with a conversation about the Lions. So,
what would it take you to evaluate making a head coaching change in season?
Oh, I haven't even considered that. I'm not considering that. just so you're clear. I'm not considering that.
Who is at fault here for this loss? It's obviously Jerry Jones. It's not Dak's fault that the defense got cooked. However, it's not Jerry Jones's fault Dak threw 2 interceptions and struggled against a secondary that before tonight was just playing okay. And I will say this though about that secondary. It is getting better and better, but at this pay rate, Dak is supposed to be able to perform under those circumstances regardless how good that secondary is. But it is still Jerry Jones' fault. This team got destroyed by the Packers last year. GM Jerry did nothing in the offseason to help this team. He did not add a dynamic weapon, another wideout. He did not get a better running back. He did not improve a single thing with the offense, and he didn't add anything to the defensive side of the ball either. This is basically the same team getting exposed in a way we have seen before. And Michael Parsons was out and DeMarcus Lawrence was out. They do have some injuries on the defensive side of the ball, but it doesn't matter. When they were completely healthy, we saw this same thing, this same script play out. They would have not made a single difference. Jerry has not done a thing to help this situation. And on the other hand, you have the Detroit Lions, a great running team, a team with one of, if not the best offensive line in the NFL. 2 great running backs, a quarterback who is playing out of his mind right now, a coach who is looking to embarrass you every single night. The way this game went was predictable from the start. The Lions are just that good. And if their defense can become more consistent, it's going to be a long day for the NFL. And I made a video about the Detroit Lions earlier in the year. So if you want to talk more and see more about the Detroit Lions, click right here to see more about them.